Hello everyone. So editing me again. I'm reading off a script for the first time in like 8 months. The last time I did a scripted thing was, I believe, a Destiny video. It was like a gun for Christmas. That was probably a year ago almost. I'm reading off a script. If I sound robotic, that's why. I don't normally use scripts because I like to just go off the cuff. I like to just feel my emotions when I talk about stuff, but I needed a script to kind of articulate my points better and just kind of have everything thought out. So I'm reading off a script, but hopefully you still enjoy the video. So editing me forgot to add that for the duration of the video, anytime I say Rathalos, I'm also saying Rathian by extension, because the community feels the same way about both. So it's just easier saying Rathalos, plus he's the focus of the video, so sue me. With Monster Hunter 6 announcements possibly around the corner, everyone is fully ready and discussing their hopes for what they want for the 6th generation of this amazing game franchise. However, I have noticed a common trend among the community. It seems that many people are on the same page about one thing: Rathalos. Many in the community believe that Rathalos, and by extension Rathian, however you want to say it, should not be in the next major installment of the franchise. I disagree with this sentiment. Rathalos is a monster that, in my opinion, should be in every Monster Hunter game. Here's why. Rathalos to me is a good starting point for every Monster Hunter game. For example, when you played your first Monster Hunter game, what did you think of him? Personally, I always thought he was a very cool and tough monster. His lore and ecology is believable for what he is, and this keeps him as one of the more grounded monsters in the series. He's not insane. He doesn't do crazy stuff. Rathalos isn't even that big when compared to most monsters. His fight disciplines you and readies you for harder monsters. It gets you used to fighting monsters that can take a more aerial approach to fights. His fight teaches you about ailments, limiting a monster's efficiency when breaking parts, such as when you cut off his tail, ranged attacks, and more importantly, patience. He really helps you grasp the ideas and mechanics of Monster Hunter. He teaches you to get better and to have an appreciation of Monster Hunter. Let's be honest with ourselves, is there really anyone who hates fighting Rathalos? Genuinely, while he may not be many's favorite, I have never heard of anyone who actually hates fighting Rathalos. He's just a solid, fun fight that is perfectly balanced for both punishing and rewarding. It's always nice to know there will be at least 2 familiar feeling monsters in every game, and is almost a relic of history since you can go through every Monster Hunter and see how different he becomes. With World and especially Rise, they did significant changes to Rathalos to make him more interesting and complex while staying true to his original ideas. For those of us players who have played many Monster Hunters and will continue to do so, seeing Rathalos in every game is like seeing that one friend you lost connection with in high school at the grocery store. You may not hope that it happens, but you're glad to talk to him for a couple minutes. Except in this case, you're happy with beating him to death because you love him so much. Many people say they want Rathalos gone for other monsters, and this is the final bit where I tell you, I have to break your little hopes and dreams. The problem with that is they would not be filled with another monster. In Monster Hunter slots are finite. We've seen this time and time again. This includes the Wraths. New monsters want to be put in those old slots, and older monsters would be unlikely to put in those old slots. The Wraths are not taking up slots either, like other monsters. They are just kind of there. They don't compete with anything because they are the icons of Monster Hunter. They are the flagships. The problem is all the other returning monsters. I think having a few monsters is fine, but the problem is the amount of monsters that keep appearing in every game. Off the top of my head, Nargacuga, Tigrex, Barioth, Zinogre, Rajang, Kashala, Teostra, Diablos, Deviljho, the Wrath variations, as well as more recently, Anjanath and Basilgeuse and Seething Basilgeuse. Kuliaku have been in every game since their introduction, as well as probably several others, but I can't think of the rest of those. I'm not looking at lists, so I can't think of those. Also, I'm kind of going off the cuff. I like most of the monsters I just listed, but frankly, I think it's kind of ridiculous when every flagship, except the 2 best ones, are in Rise and Sunbreak. I genuinely think people do not give the Wraths, the pioneers of Monster Hunter, enough credit when it comes to their inclusion in Monster Hunter games. I think we just need more rotations amongst the older returning monsters, like maybe a game where Monoblos is in it instead of Diablos. Or, instead of normal Nargacuga, we get green Nargacuga. Please, Capcom, I beg of you, give me my green parrot boy with a similar color scheme to Stories 2, please. I hope all of my and all of your favorite monsters are in Monster Hunter 6. What are they? You could ask me, I'd be glad to answer. I ask you, hopefully you're glad to answer. Hopefully you enjoyed the video as well. That's all. Goodbye. Also, I'm working on the next Gmod video, and I'm probably going to do an Overwatch video because I've been playing it a lot in the same style as the Gmod type stuff. I think that'll be fun. But yeah, don't expect purely discussion stuff. It's just this is kind of fun, it's kind of different, it's kind of new, and it's not that hard to put out, so edit-wise anyway, you know, thinking about it, it's a lot harder. Anyway, goodbye.